on a lag, so that probably sounds horrible.
Hey, bullies.
Hey, bullies. Welcome back, bullies.
The weeks are coming and going.
Like, I cannot believe it's already time to record again. It's like we just recorded. I'm of the impression they need to make shows start being every 2 weeks. This is too goddamn much. We're about to quit the damn. I'm quitting. I don't like having something to do. No, every single week, every single day. God damn, like.
I knew we were going to be this time at the top.
If you can't hear it, bullies, I'm sick. So, y'all welcome. I need to be in bed with a lozenge, rubbing my feet together.
Listeners, the reason my co-host is sick is because she been outside with the Walla Walla community all weekend.
That's getting cut. No, I'm kidding. No, for real, that's exactly what it was at the Slow Jam event. Red light Slow Jam event. It was something else, y'all. It was something else. I forgot I did that this week. That was Thursday.
I'm sure you did. So it's just everything's catching up to her, but we're back.
It is. We're back. The Super Bowl's over.
Super Bowl's over. Who are you rooting for?
The Seahawks. The woke agenda.
Yes, we were rooting against Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the MAGA movement. But it was a good time. That was a good time. Benito was fantastic. That's all I got for you for the Super Bowl. Let's get into all right. Most importantly, let's get to episode 5. Wow.
Eyes without a face.
Eyes without a face.
Yeah, let's get into this episode summary. This is a quick one this week, y'all. Being a woman in the workplace has never been more bleak. This week we dove into the world of Sweetpea and learned more about her and her short stint in sex work. On a SternTao work trip, we also see how she prefers to handle conflict head on. Between the scenes in Ghana, Eric and Harper confront their own loneliness and insignificance while faced with the possibility and realities of tremendous loss. In their quest to become undeniable, how far can they go before their risk runs out?
That was good. You're getting better and better at it.
And I'm taking less and less time writing it, which is what's sad.
Yeah. She's chewing gum and typing fast, yeah.
Literally embarrassing.
This is about to be an episode already.
This episode really was crazy.
It really was.
So, let's get into it this week. So, we start Eyes Without a Face, which love the name. This episode was creepy.
It was super creepy.
It was in a thriller way. Yeah. I feel like when they teased kind of this part of the season, I thought it would be a little bit more, I guess, like, action-y, surprise, suspense, that type of thriller, but I should never doubt Mickey and Conrad.
Yeah, they're going full horror this season.
They are.
Like, these are a lot of my fears, real life fears, happen in this show. Like,
truly.
Oh. Okay.
Truly. So we start this week with Eric fighting with his ex-wife, Candace.
Yep.
Lily has just been expelled from boarding school or excluded.
That's really weird.
Being excluded. And Eric is in the car. He says school fucking failed her. Candace says, of course. And he said, I pay all that tuition and they don't know what the fuck she's up to. And she said, if you tip them enough, they'll walk her down the aisle for you too.
Oh. Ooh. That is such a harsh burn. That is such a harsh burn.
Yeah. And she says, maybe if you stop spending so much time with your whore in New York. And I had a question here. Do you think they thought Harper was the whore in New York?
I honestly think so. Or if it's like in a fit of anger, you misspeak. Instead of in, she's really the whore from New York, not in New York. You know what I mean? Like, is it something like that? Or does he really, because we did see that he was down at the Mar-a-Lago or wherever he was at retirement. So he has been in the States doing God knows what with God knows who. So
he does have whores.
Yeah, she doesn't know the extent to which it is, or it's a misspeak and it's really about Harper, which I wouldn't be surprised because it seems like the other girl, the daughter, knew who Harper was a few weeks ago.
There's a lot of tension around Harper.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Eric says this is what happens when a child is not left wanting. And I made a note about how in this whole dialogue, which I also thought the writing was interesting. We could talk about that in a second for this episode. But he is passing off so much of the blame for someone who really just tried to pull Harper's card on passing the blame off to other people. I'm like, pot, meet, kettle. Like,
right.
True father-daughter duo.
They literally act exactly the same. They're really foils of each other like crazy. Because what do you mean? Why would the school have any idea about that stuff? That is like, a parent's job.
Exactly.
But we'll get into exactly what she did.
But he already a couple of episodes ago was talking about how he relied on the institution to raise them and how much he relies on institutions in general, but specifically their school. And so I'm just like honestly, give it a fucking rest.
Yeah, really. This is how children behave who are raising themselves.
Exactly.
Like you're raising a little wolf.
Exactly. And his wife points that out and says, you think your interest doesn't affect them. Like, clearly they are wanting your attention. They want you. She said you give them everything except what they need.
Right.
So that's how we're starting this off. Mommy and daddy issues flaring. Eric the family man. The whole episode. Eric the family man is, I don't think he's gonna pull it off. Okay, so then we move to SternTao HQ featuring Kenny and his Bob. And
the Bob is back.
the Bob has returned with a vengeance.
And
SternTao is needing more liquidity because the short and tender play is not working.
No, they're losing all the money. And from what it seems like, Eric's little 10 mil is gone. That's been ate up.
Yeah.
Super ate. So
overly. So they're hemorrhaging money, and Kenny calls them to warn them and say, hey, I don't know what y'all are doing over there, but you're going to need more collateral in about 48 to 72 hours. Oof. We find out that Harper has liquidated Quabina's book. Quabina's book.
Quabina's? Yeah.
And she says that his positions are not conviction positions and that they're counter to the philosophies of the fund.
Yeah.
Do you think that she did that out of necessity, or do you think she was trying to dom Quabina?
That's a leading question.
Well, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, I think that she really just is freaking. She's full freak out mode, and she's trying to justify it. But she was just like, "Fuck it, fuck him." Basically, like, this is my money too. I don't think she really is trying to play him. I think she's really scared because this is another failure. Basically, if it doesn't work well. And I saw somebody say on TikTok, I can't remember the guy's TikTok name, but his question this week is Harper bad at her job? He's like, as a banker, or is it someone in finance? I would say yes. Like, she's risky and she's fun to watch, but in general, she's not good at her job, especially not as a boss. And like what goes on, well, I guess 2 scenes later, is erictao basically being like, do you think that's what good bosses do? So I think which insane. But I think she's just a bad, like, she has no concern for others. She's just trying to make a play. And she don't care what costs.
Yeah. I think more along those lines too. At first I thought it was a power play because she wanted to assert her position over Kwabena after they had been, hooking up. But then I was like, no, Harper's genuinely scared. Like, she's nervous about what could potentially happen, especially with the context that Eric's 10 mil is gone.
And I think that is really what it is. Like, she cannot handle pressure, social pressure. Yeah. I think social pressure breaks her. Like, right, we see her, she can thrive when the pressure's money-related, work-related. She's just like, okay, let's just do this. But now that it's like, it's serious business. This is his money. He just told you this is his kids who he don't like, inheritance that's on the line. Like, I got to do anything. Also, it is funny for him to be playing some, like, long positions in there at a short company. Like, he's not all in. That's what we also really learned.
That's also why I was like, is Harper just trying to regain control, or is she trying to regain control of the company, like, professionally, or is she trying to also control them and, like, control their personal dynamic as well by asserting her professional dominance? That was kind of more of my question. Yeah. I feel like we both are, we're kind of, I think it's a mixture of both.
It's like, that probably is true, because why not just talk to him? You know what I mean? If you really wanted this to be a partnership, and, like, you wanted him to feel like a partner in whatever y'all are doing, you would talk to him. But instead, you are trying to show, like, I'm the boss, like, whatever this is. So,
in the midst of all this, Harper gets a call from Pierre, and he wants her to speak at a Women in Finance forum. And she says it seems low priority, and Eric immediately corrects her and says it's not.
Yeah.
He said he don't give a fuck if you gotta pick sand grain by grain off the beach.
He said the woke agenda exists in this in this LA. Like, you have got to go. We have got to get more money.
To go.
Like, this is crazy, because essentially she's saying it's just like, it's too woke for her. Like, it's not even
too woke. It's a waste of time. It's not really moving the needle on anything. But I also thought this was interesting because it's such a stark contrast to how Yaz is thinking about public press and how central a leader needs to be to the story of the company. That's Harper true. Is very much, she wants the work to speak for itself. She's really trying to hammer down that this is by merit. I'm doing this work because I'm good at it. I deserve to be in this position. Versus, like, Yaz maybe thinks that, but also understands the value of being front-facing, having good publicity, kind of rubbing elbows and shoulders with people of influence. Whereas Harper is like, I can take it or leave that because I'm a black woman from America. And and I have the work. Right.
Yeah. That is true. There's a good little conflict there. But yeah, she doesn't have those, again, social skills. Like, she doesn't have those softer skills of, like, playing it up and being a part of the game, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So, Sweetpea decides to intervene and is like, you know what? Fuck it. I need to go to Ghana. We keep saying we have conviction from fucking where exactly? And Eric drops that Sweetpea is actually the CIO, which I'm like, go Sweetpea. She's Chief Information Officer.
Everybody just getting titles.
Everybody gets a title. But in this case, I don't know that Sweetpea should be a CIO, but I do think that Sweetpea is the only person that's good at her job. Maybe Kwabena, but we haven't seen enough of his work. And also, like, Harper keeps basically kicking sand in his eyes. Yeah. So we haven't really gotten to see what he can do. But Sweetpea so far has been the only person that has, like, produced.
Yeah, that shows she can do something.
Yeah.
She's smart. Like, she's very smart.
Exactly. And Eric says, you know, in the event that we've sent our CIO on a fool's errand and this trip comes up a bust, what do we do? And so as they're talking and kind of figuring out what should happen, Harper gets a call. And I really like the shot of Harper, like, walking away, but then the camera is also moving away from SternTao HQ. Yeah. And Harper's silhouette. Let's pause on the fashions this episode. We keep saying we want to talk about the fashions. I can't even remember if we actually have spoken about the fashions on the show. But Harper versus Sweetpea's outfits are so good. Like, Harper is the 30-year-old at work who has gotten money, has figured out what her uniform, so to speak, like her young professional uniform. Whereas Sweetpea has a much different approach. She does kind of like a style and substance hybrid. She really likes colors. She likes mixing. She mixes patterns. She loves a suit as well, but she'll do like a fun color or a different kind of cut or a different kind of just a different fit in general. I think that it's so, like, the way that they're setting Harper and Sweetpea up to contrast each other compared to Yasmin, because I was listening to another podcast that, again, I will not name.
Yeah, not the comp.
And saying how Yasmin, whenever she wears her suits, it's like she's wearing a costume. She shouldn't really be in those suits. But when Sweetpea is wearing a suit, or Harper's wearing a suit, it's like, these bitches these are business bitches. They came to work. And Sweetpea's suits this episode were so good. In this scene, she had on a button down, tucked into like some very well tailored jeans. It was like a casual Friday look.
It's cute.
Very cute, very smart. She was dressed very smart. And then when we get to Africa, she's in a three-piece linen suit as well.
That is like a Sweetpea color. That little lime. I'm like, oh, that's very cute to kind of play on the name and like what she looks like. Like, her name and her outfits make sense.
Whereas Harper is in grays, blacks, stern. She's in grays, blacks, dark blues,
dark colors. It also gives me a little bit of Wicked. A little bit of
Elphaba and Glinda.
A little Elphaba and Glinda. A little bit.
And I'm a witch, but which is which? Well, here's the sitch.
If that's the play? We thinking Harper's the bad guy. If Sweetpea flips up on us somehow, I'm a holler.
I would be devastated.
Put a pin in this. I said it first, February 9th.
I didn't even think about that. I would be completely devastated, really. Like, truly.
That would be a key. Oh, my God.
So, Harper is taking this call, and I wrote that I hate when something takes me out of my workflow. Because they were in the middle of trying to figure some shit out, and she got a call from her brother. Oh my God.
Literally. Oh. And then when you know it's important too.
Yes.
Because it's like it's an odd time for you to be calling. Like, this really is my flow hour. What the hell is this call coming in right now for? I know.
At this time. Yeah. We've been there. So as that's happening in the background, Eric, Kwabena, and Sweetpea are talking about James Diker's untimely death. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah. And
Kwabena says Diker's death is a spooky coincidence in a straight-to-video kind of way. And Sweetpea says the world is made of them. Yeah. She really could not give a fuck.
No, she does not care. It's not a major holiday for her at all.
We really don't give a fuck. It's just St. Patrick's Day for real. She's just wanting to get this story broken. She don't care who breaks it. Mm-mm. And Eric lets the audience know what they know about James's murder. I'm doing quotes, listener. And he says that Rishi happened to be found with him, and basically Rishi is now on the hook for selling him drugs. Yeah. So there is no current with Fent in it. There is no current connection to SternTao yet, but Kwabena says he's facing a manslaughter charge, and Sweetpea said, glad he's found his way home.
I thought that was a kid. She cannot stand Rishi.
She cannot stand him. And Eric is still, kind of defending him as Harper is, dying inside. Yeah. Her mom being injured. And he says he was a very retrograde human being. And then he said, but it just seems sloppy the way that he died. So that to me was like, are y'all going to get to the setup of it all? Yeah. Or what's going to happen? Are they going
to start snooping around that? Is this about to be a snooping show?
Yeah, but I'm just like, Eric would be the one to think the best of Rishi. Yeah. He genuinely feels like, okay, he sold drugs, we all do them.
I think, too, he's also known Rishi the longest. And,
that's true.
He used to always loan Rishi the money and stuff. You remember, I think it was season 3, before we really got to know how many issues Rishi was having, he was getting money from Eric to flip, and Eric's like, I never get a return on this, I think he always had a soft spot for him, and that's his little friend, I'm sure.
Fellow brown man.
Yeah. Pox.
Harper is completely thrown off by this call from JD. And Kwabena is basically like, let me jump in and act. And so he steps in and offers to go to Ghana since it doesn't make sense for Harper to go.
Yeah.
And he's from there anyway. And Harper's like, I don't care what y'all do, just go.
Yeah. She's really blank-faced. She's just, odd. Eric picks up on it, what's going on? Are you okay? She makes up a bogus story. It's just giving, girl, what was that call about?
I wrote that at this point, it's too intimate for her.
Yeah. And it's also intimate, just do I really want all of them to know this about my mama right now?
I'm at work.
Everybody, honestly, everyone get out. I feel like that's really what she just wanted to say, but it's Eric's living here kinda, and you're living here kinda, so at least he has to be here, but these other two, y'all can go.
Yes. Been there.
Been there.
Yeah, so Harper's struggling, but Sweetpea and Kwabena are going to Ghana, and Eric is stuck in the middle.
She's literally stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah. So they're having dinner now at SternTao HQ. I said Daddy Eric tries to get Harper to eat. She's not hungry. And Eric is, again, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Because Harper's doing, she's a totally different tone, too. She's, yeah, I don't know. Girl, okay.
Yeah.
What's happening? Damn.
And she says, I hired you for operations, and keeping the music playing is an operational issue. And Eric basically says, you picked one position to hang up in lights. That was your choice. that's on you, mamas.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just here helping. Like, I'm trying to help you out of it. I'm giving you the money. I'm doing everything. This is your idea, and we're done. I'm done.
He said, you called me.
Yeah.
You called me. And Harper is like, you're not good at your job. Like, I don't know why I hired you. And Eric says, well, what about you liquidating your junior trader's books? Like, do you think those are the actions of a good boss? And Harper says, you want to run that back to me?
Would you like to repeat that? I said, my girl is hurt. I texted you. Hurt people personify. Like, she is not good at balancing her emotions at all. She finds an outlet to just let it all out on, and that's not healthy, sister.
No. And she tries to redirect it back to work by pitching these outs, a Hail Mary. What can they do to get back in the green? Because now they're in black, really.
Yeah, they're messed up.
And Eric says he's not going to let her play craps with this because he got his $10 million on the line and it's already in the pyre.
Yeah.
And Harper, this is where Harper gets nasty.
Yeah.
She says, you think if you leave your girls some money that they're going to love you? And Eric is gagged. He was gagged by his throat.
But I think his response is so good. Instead of going further into hell with her, just like, how is that a purposeful response right now?
How is that an appropriate segue?
How was that an appropriate segue? And I was like, thank you, Eric. Keep her on track. Cause what
I
the hell?
You love some
Eric. Hey, no, I don't love erictao. But I think that was an appropriate response because why did you say that? Like, what? Why are you punching below the belt like that? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you are spending up. Like, we're spending up his money.
Yeah. And she really is acting out in a way where she needs a father, a parent to be like, why are you acting like this? What is going on with you? What's wrong? Yeah. Like, what is it?
Why are you having a temper tantrum? Do you need a potty break? Do you need a bottle?
Do you need a hug?
A hug? Would you like to sit and cuddle for a second?
Yes.
We don't need erictao and Harper Stern to do that. But those are things that you have to ask of children. Like, when my niece starts doing all that, it's like, hey, all right now. What? Come on, let's go ahead and sit on. Let's sit on down. Let's rock a little. Tell me what happened. But yeah, she needs a parent.
And Harper tells him, you've become too timid. And in this moment, I noted that Harper was literally morphing into season 2 Eric on the Pierpoint trading floor. Yeah. Like, it was like her eyes rolled to the back of her head, then came back around, and she was erictao from a few years prior. And she tells him, you are not useful to me. What else do you need from me? She was just so triggered and just going the fuck off on Eric. And I'm like,
okay. I feel like she's been triggered literally all season. And it's just like, is it just because you have all this money on the line, so you're just on edge? Or is there something else?
We still haven't gotten the daddy of it all.
We haven't got the daddy of it all, and we haven't really understood why Tinder.
Yeah.
Right? She's been looking for the why, but you've had your eyes at, like Eric just said, dead set target on Tinder before you knew they had any other issues. So, like, why are you what's going on? And if so, why'd you fuck that man like that? I'm very confused. On that. I would really love a deeper dive. And hopefully they'll show us in our next few episodes that we have left. Like, how is that Why Tinder?
Yeah. And what is it about this situation that's getting under her skin so much? Because, I mean, you would think, I understand it's a lot of pressure, but the fact that she's managing her own fun and has all this responsibility and is at the top of her game. I mean, she was a 30 under 30, but I mean, as we know, with
that's
30
a curse.
under 30s, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
The harder
baby.
they fall.
But yeah, at the end of this scene, I feel like Eric was really, I mean, deflated is the best word. I feel like Harper and Eric are deflated at different points in this video, in this episode. Yeah. It just was very emotional for both of them in different ways. Eric, I think, was a little bit more convicted about being part of the Deadbeat Dads Club.
Yeah.
And I think he was starting to, like, kind of see his future a bit if he didn't tighten up, especially with Harper saying, like, you are useless to me.
Yeah.
You've become too timid. Like, what else can I give you? Like, you've taken enough from me. I've given you enough. Like, and I can only imagine, like, that's probably how he talks to his daughters as well. So
yeah. And that's how you talk to, like, everyone else in his life.
Right. Exactly. So the next scene is Eric still contemplating his life, and he's opening his phone, presumably about to call one of his daughters, whom harpsichord is at the top of that list.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's Lily. I think we saw Candace in the call log, but there's an incoming call from Dolly Hotel Girl. And, I wrote also that there was no Laura in the call log either.
Yeah, and that's the one that's having the problems, right?
No, Lily is the one that's having the problems. So that's the one. Yeah. Lily is the one that came over, and he was like, she's not well adjusted, but her sister is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so Dolly Hotel Girl calls, and he tells her, don't call this number again. After she's like, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah. Where you at, honey?
Did you think that he was done?
No.
With the horse?
Of course not. I think he was just trying to give him a moment of be like, I am a good dad. Hey. But what's really funny about that scene, too, though, is like, yeah, he hangs up, but he doesn't, like, call his daughters.
He still does not call his daughter. Any of them.
So he doesn't like try to call his ex-wife. He doesn't try to do any of that. So no. I guess thanks for putting the phone down for a second. He probably just too sad to get it up.
Yeah. Like he's not in the mood. So he's not in the mood.
Yeah. More than he cares about anybody.
Exactly. Then we get to SternTao in Ghana. They're in Daddy December. And we get OG industry music.
We do.
They're wearing a new location. They're wearing a sickening olive coordination number. Kwabena is wearing olive as well as Sweetpea. They both look fab. And Sweetpea has done all of this work to kind of coordinate an itinerary, which, again, only person on her fucking job.
Only person that works in this whole show.
In this whole fucking show. She set up a Zoom with Tony and ended up messaging him and saying that they could now do an in-person meeting because she was exploring other options in the region. So she was going to be traveling to Ghana. Yeah. And if he was available for an in-person thing, they were happy to do so because she wanted to tell him that they want to get on Tinder's bull case.
Yeah. And to add to that, she's not telling him, right, that they're Harper Stern, erictao LLC, right? Like
yes, they're traveling on
behalf undercover.
They're claiming to be traveling on behalf of Mostyn Asset Management.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, they were fired from.
Yeah.
So Kwabena just completely like shits on Sweetpea's itinerary and says, I think you're digging for gold in the sandbox. Yeah. And she just kind of looks at him like,
girl,
she can say nigga. She would have said, nigga, please.
She would, because it's just like, just come along for the ride then. They want you to be a fake bodyguard for whatever reason. I could have did this on my own, for real. If we really think about how the episode goes.
For real.
She basically did it on her own.
I don't need help. I don't need help.
Because all these meets and greets that he come up with down the line, he could have did that on the phone and he could have stayed in
literally. So she looks at him and he says, all right, Aaron Brockovich. Which I was like, did people in the UK know about Aaron Brockovich?
I thought that was a US thing too, but I don't know. I never know what
what's happening across the pond.
What they're talking about. I never know what they're talking about. And then when they do say stuff, they always have random things that they know about American culture. And like, okay.
Literally the most random things ever. But I guess Aaron Brockovich was kind of a big deal. But Sweetpea is like,
too young.
Girl, yeah. Both of them are really.
Yeah.
But Sweetpea is kind of dressed in an Aaron Brockovich style. Yeah. She has like 90s. It was very like Miami Vice.
Yeah. Like, or oh my gosh. Whatever. I can't think of the lady's name. I won't even say it. But it's a specific look of a really famous actor. She's kind of horse-like. Brown hair.
What is she in?
I can see her. I can't think of any movies. The girl when she dies from diabetes. What's that movie? Still Magnolias.
Who are you thinking of though?
I don't know.
Still. What?
I don't know.
Horse like is crazy. Sally Field.
Not
Julia
Sally Field's the one that has the Julia Roberts. She has the Julia Roberts type of style.
I'm keeping that in. Was it Julia Roberts, Aaron Brockovich?
Oh, I think so. And when she also, the diaries, the writing.
She was.
The youth, young black youth, people of color in LA. Teaching them about the Holocaust. When you really think about that movie.
That was a Julia
That was
Roberts.
a psyop. That was a psyop movie.
What's that called? Freedom Writers.
Freedom Writers. They taught kids about the Holocaust to make them understand their poor, while they're poor, black, and dirty in Compton.
That was Hillary Swank. That was even Julia Roberts.
Is who? Hillary Duff?
Hillary Swank. Swank. Yeah. Hillary Duff is crazy.
Hillary Swank looks horse-like too.
Yes. Yes.
Back to the show.
Anyway, so Sweetpea says, I don't have to see you again on this trip, basically. And the only other thing that I wrote for this scene is that I am literally Kwabena on work trips. Like, I'm here for the vibes.
I'm here for the vibes.
I'm there to get some weed, get some room service, and go home. Like, I am not trying to do all this. All that extra shit. So, yeah. So, we're back at SternTao.
Yep.
And we see Eric ruffling through his dirty clothes or something. And we find out that
he never had no clothes on. What's that about? Why are you just in a robe? That is the most
such a dirty old man. That's what I'm saying.
So nasty. It really is giving like Asian man in sauna. You know what I mean? Otherwise they just be walking around with their booties out.
Like he's in a bathhouse.
He's in a bathhouse. Like,
you're paying $100,000 a month to live here, so I definitely understand if you want to be out ass naked, you should. That's your constitutional right.
But do it in your space. Don't do it in the communal space.
Yes, like that's your office. You actually can't do it at all. So if you want to do that, you need to rent a separate room where you can be ass naked in. Like, you cannot do that in the office.
Like, literally, every cut scene is him in a robe. It's like, do you think Harper's gonna just walk in and start jacking it one day? Like, what? He's so freaked out. It's so porn brain coded. Like,
that's what I'm saying. This trajectory is going nowhere but down for me. And then also he makes a comment about how Corbin he ate all these chicken wings, so he got a bill for wings. I said, why you gotta eat chicken wings?
Why you gotta eat chicken wings? I said that too. When it first said, I said, ooh. Ooh.
Huh? I ain't gotta eat chicken wings.
I didn't even know they had no buffalo wings in London.
Korean barbecue wings.
I didn't even know they had that up there.
They got Wingstop.
Why did that make me cry? This is so stupid.
What's that chicken place over there?
Ancient chicken.
God, I can see it. No, I can see it. It's like
Nando's.
Yes, I'm like Bojangles.
It's some nasty cheeky Nando's. Nando's so damn nasty. Ugh, keep that over
That's
there.
all they got.
Did not need to bring that over the seas. We have better chicken here. Oh. Tell him to stop ordering room service. He keep eating up chicken wings. Oh my God.
Racial dog whistle.
Yeah. That is so racist. Also, why does Corbina look like the moon emoji? Seriously. What is that about? It takes me out of it every time. Every time.
He has that look about him.
He does.
Oh, so Harper's mom is dead.
Rest in peace. And pieces, I guess. God.
Harper's really torn up about that. We are too, though. And
yeah, I guess.
She blames her mom for her brother not loving her, which we also haven't really gotten into any the brother besides him being an addict.
Yeah.
And that he was... It sounds like maybe he was supposed to be a famous tennis player.
Yeah. And
the mama pushed him
too
to
hard.
The point of no return. Yeah, he cracked.
And it's like over tennis.
You know how many people are good at tennis?
Yeah.
Especially black people.
Black people, especially post Serena Williams, like, girl, we all play tennis, like.
Yeah. Harper is just reminiscing on how poorly her mom treated her and her brother, and that she can remember the love that she used to feel from her brother that she now no longer feels. And Eric says, well, what else do you remember? And she said resentment, and then she said, actually, hate. And Eric says they can both be good motivational principles, and Harper says until they're not.
Felt.
And then Eric invites her into his room.
What? Don't start saying it like that.
On his bed. And I said I don't like Harper on Eric's bed at all.
I really hope they don't do that.
I think they will.
I don't.
We don't want to see it, but they're building it up.
I guess. I saw
they
it on her. They
really are.
Yeah.
And they're putting them in such
but it's just like
dire
straits. Maybe it's kind of parental. Mm-hmm. You remember when Trayvon Martin happened, and so they were like, parents, take your kids. Barack Obama, namely. It's like sit down on the bed with your kids and tell them about
this is gonna be good.
The talk. Tell them about the talk. And you know what? Everybody's saying the talk. I've never heard nobody have that. Like, I guess now they do, but I never heard of that before. Like, oh, you have to have a talk.
Well, we are
might
boys.
Get killed, brother. You think they actually do that with boys?
Yeah,
I guess. But
especially with black boys, it's definitely like, don't talk to the police crazy. Don't be messing with white girls. I think those are just like the two rules.
The two rules.
But it wasn't like a police brutality conversation.
Yeah, like, oh, I got this situation.
This is the system.
This is like, what the world looks like. Yeah. But that's what it was giving
officers. Me. Yeah.
It was given like, I put therapist erictao deepen their relationship in a way that maybe Harper would like. Because she's lonely. She already said that. She wants someone to connect to platonically.
But Eric is someone who takes advantage of people's loneliness.
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing you can be in erictao's bed.
I just need them to be friends to each other. What Olivia Dean say? Nice to each other. Nice to each other.
We could be wrong for each other. Right for each other. They're definitely wrong for each other.
Yeah.
But Eric takes this vulnerability and he's like, you know what? I'll raise you one. My daughter got expelled.
As if those are equal.
Your mom died, my daughter got expelled. So now what?
Now what?
And he said they threw her out of the school for little monsters for being a little monster. So Eric tells us what happens with why his daughter was expelled. And
dark.
I thought it was you would think that how he described what happened, he would have been more upset at the action or more upset at the daughter. But in that opening scene, he immediately is blaming the school.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it's like you said, you're the one raising a little wolf. Like, you need to check yourself and this bitch.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he lets us know that she was catfishing a girl with a group of boys. That sounds familiar to me. And they made this girl think that she was going on a date, had her dress up, extremely revealing, travel for the date, sit and wait on the date, and essentially get stood up, which is so mean and sad.
Yeah, it's actually really, really dark. Like, it's really bad. And then to go on to even further to say that it's the risque pictures and had her in, he said hooker clothes, which is like, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you could just say revealing or something, but like,
what did he say? Eighth grader in hooker clothes?
Yeah. Like, why did they show you the pictures? But that's neither here nor there. Why is it, you know what I mean? They ain't got no protection laws over there. London listeners, let us know.
That's what they... Please do.
Let us know. Because that don't really smell right.
You know, they're trying to do the whole privacy thing. That's the whole thing with the season is this privacy.
And like, why are you showing these kids? Like, I could see the school being like, yeah, the pictures are horrible. We can't show you all because it's child pornography. But
it's a private school though, so I feel like private schools are just lawless, but we could talk about that.
Yes, yeah.
But I wrote that Lily is a psycho.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
Not only did she participate, Eric said that she was the leader.
She was the ringleader. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's scary.
But Eric's response to kind of bearing his soul about this to Harper is, imagine swallowing such cut and dry evidence of your failure as a father. And then he goes on this rant about this diatribe about how his kids are useless to them and he doesn't really like them because they really can't do anything for him and that he's an animal who works on attention and they don't hold his.
They don't hold his attention. His children.
I'm like,
that's scary.
Girls? But
you're
honestly,
teenagers at that. You're teenagers.
I feel like that's how most, I don't want to say just fathers, because I do feel like the mommy and daddy issues on this show are pretty evenly distributed.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that is especially prevalent with fathers.
Yeah.
But parents in general, like, I know some parents who...
I know some. I knew some once.
I once knew some parents who felt like their children were, or their child out of children were useless to them, and that
they're just kind of bored with them.
Yeah, the child just doesn't hold their attention. They could give a fuck what the child is interested in, or likes, or cares about. They don't really care. They want to know what. They want to know if the child likes and cares about what the parent likes and cares about, which is not the point.
That's not the point. But that is actually really sick, like, on Eric's side. Like,
yes.
What is that? And you can tell the awkwardness of, in episode 2 or whenever the little girl was over the apartment, how he hooked her. It was just like...
No connection.
A stranger. Like, you're shocked a stranger wants to hug you, and it's like, no, it's your daughter. But okay.
Mm-hmm. And how he's just so unwilling to accept the love. Like Harper says, like, he's just not interested. And Harper says, surely it's not lost on you that you picked a career made up of transactions. It requires you to be transactional. And usually the aggregate of those transactions is 0.
Yeah. That's the best outcome.
And Eric just says, they don't make me feel substantial.
Ew.
Ouch. Harper says they should.
Right.
Before that, he said that he should feel celestial about his kids. And that he just doesn't. And I can empathize with parents who became parents and maybe didn't really want to be parents, and it was like a bit too much. They bit off more than they could chew or whatever. Like you said, these are teenagers, so you had a long time to like learn to love your kids.
Exactly. And it's like, I get saying, like, you know, man, now that they're teenagers, like, I just don't get them. I don't really understand, but he's not really even saying that. It seems like this has been the case, right? Like, since season 1, when there were little girls, like, and it's like, why do you need to be celestial, right? Like, that's godlike. Why do you need that from your
Why can't it
children?
just be, that's your daughter. Those are your daughters.
Like, they don't need to worship you, and they shouldn't.
But this explains the depth of him and Harper's relationship, or why he thinks so highly of her, why he requires so much of her, so to speak, because he does feel celestial about her. She's a bone deep moneymaker. Like, she is a value, a supreme value to him. Yeah. So like, she's the best daughter that he could have asked for. She is his daughter built in a lab.
Yeah.
If he was able to engineer his own daughter, it would be Harper.
Yeah, she's interesting. She's fun. Yeah. She takes risks that he wouldn't do. She does things that he wouldn't do. But it's also like, she's an adult.
Right. And he very
much. And you met her as an adult.
He treats her like a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, Harper pivots back to herself, thankfully. And she's just kind of processing her grief out loud. And she tells Eric that she wanted her mom to fall to her knees and beg for forgiveness because I had become undeniable. And Eric looks Harper in her eyes and says, Harper, you are undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she is, though. I feel like Eric believes that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do feel like she has achieved, she technically has achieved a lot, but she's not undeniable because up until this point, she hasn't successfully finished something.
Yeah, she hasn't really done anything yet. Like, she I guess, because we have to say she's done something, right? Because she had to do something to get to 30 for under 30.
Right.
Right? That's pre this. That's her getting to moisten or whatever. Like, she's done something, but it's just like, what makes her undeniable is her ability to gain wealth for other people, essentially. Like, she's never been able to do it yet for herself. So it's like, I guess in a sense she's on her way there, but I feel like if you are somebody that is doing something crazy like this, you need to have a crazy voice in your corner boosting you up.
Yeah.
And that's really all he is. Like, he's just an angel on her shoulder, or a devil. That's really like trying to guide her in no sense and like give her that confidence that she really doesn't have in herself.
Yeah. We flip back to Ghana and we're trying to find Swift GC. Sweetpea is on the hunt. She's trying to find any leads as to what this actual operation might look like. She finds a front desk worker and asks him for the tender office number. He's like, sorry, no English. And she bribes him. Exactly. She bribes him with $20, which I was like, only $20 is fucking crazy. How
it's
much
probably
is that
like $1,000.
Crazy.
I don't know.
And he ends up giving her the number. She calls. The phone immediately goes to Tinder HQ. Or she's calling Swift GC and it goes to Tinder HQ.
Yeah.
Love Sweetpea's look here, by the way.
Yeah, she's cute.
Then she leaves there and goes to her 11 a.m. with Tony. Kwabena is sitting in the lobby of this building already, and she checks in at the front desk. Very pleasant, very collegial, very polite. Yeah. Kwabena is screaming, "Is the AC not working?" across the lobby.
It's like, girl, I thought you were from Africa. Why? I really put in my notes, why is he drinking water so hard? What's that about? A Ghanaian not used to the heat?
And you said you had been there 4 times a year?
Okay.
So Sweetpea tries to fill Kwabena in, and he keeps just, like, undermining her. She tries to, every time she finds a lead or finds something that she feels like she should be digging deeper on, he just has nothing to say, or is like, you're being dramatic or delusional. This isn't really amounting to anything. And so she just shuts up. Yeah. So they end up waiting for 2 hours, but Sweetpea ends up catching Tony on his way out. He's like, sorry, didn't mean to stand you guys up. And she's like, well, do you have 15 minutes? So they join him for lunch. Do you truly believe he was trying to dodge them?
Yeah. I do. I definitely do. I think he really thought they were going to be gone by then. It was shocked to see them waiting.
Sweetpea was a dog with a bone, as we hear later, but they join him for lunch, and Sweetpea starts asking a ton of questions. She's grilling him, and she mentions that he's had to uproot his life and move to Ghana, and it's just wondering, you know, what's up with that? And Kwabena jumps in and it's like, couldn't they have given this job to a local? And Tony Day responds in tweet saying, like, okay, I've lived here 15 years. I am a local. And Kwabena just laughs.
Right. Because can you speak it? I guess he can understand it.
he can understand. He probably can speak and understand it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't feel like he has to because he's a smug African man that works in finance.
Yeah.
Many such cases.
Many such.
So, Sweetpea starts asking him about the local acquisitions and wants to know kind of the through line between all of these acquisitions they've been making recently in Africa with payment processors and text-to-pay and prepaid cards. And Tony starts to get suspicious right around here. Because he asks her, what did you say? What other markets did you say you were looking at while you were here? Mm-hmm. And Sweetpea kind of clams up.
Yeah. It's like, girl, you needed to keep a couple in your book. You know what I mean? Just say anything. Like,
this is where I was like, wait, so is Sweetpea good at her job? But I do think that was just her being really young.
Yeah.
Because at this point, she's still in her early 20s. She has only been a junior trader and then worked for Harper directly at another fund where Harper was even under someone else's supervision. So to go from that to CIO would be like if I became a CEO a month from now.
Literally.
Okay. Whatever that means. No, literally. If I became a chief strategy officer in a month, like, right.
I'll be like, honestly, makes sense. Whatever fake ass job you got right now. Honestly,
don't be jealous of my boogie.
Next thing I know, you on billboards.
Literally, like, I'm gonna be on Forbes. I'm gonna be the next Forbes star.
40 under 40.
This is the one time that Kwabena is helpful, though, because he jumps in and says they're in the market for consumer goods like Fan Milk and MTN, which Fan Milk is a dairy company and MTN is the phones. And Tony is like, right, pretty boring. So he takes that as his cue to leave, and Sweetpea stops him and says, you can call me if you like, if you just feel like talking. And this is where I think Sweetpea started getting in over her head, too.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's nothing wrong with being a sex worker, but you can't keep the prestige is not the right word, but she's trying to keep that separation between, like, her past and, like, the fact that she was leaked and all that stuff in her professional life that requires so much respect and, like, prestige actually as a person. But then you keep, like, propositioning men with sex to get work or, like, stuff pertaining to your work.
Yeah, and this is my concern. It's like she's gotten so used to being online, she forgets this is real life. This is real. This is what we have come to expect. How men behave.
They leave this business meeting and Sweetpea's like, I image reverse searched this picture of the check, the acquisition check that Tinder wrote to SwiftGC, and in the article about it, Sweetpea found that they instructed a lawyer to kind of do this merger and acquisition. Sweetpea, that raises red flags for Sweetpea because an acquisition of that size, $50 million, surely would require a much more robust team, but they just hired this, like, lowly single lawyer.
All right. It's like regulators should be involved. It should be kind of like how Tinder's going through the ringer of
exactly
merged, but instead it's just this one guy named lawyer. Okay.
Yeah. And Kwabena says, that isn't that uncommon in this region, and it's still just kind of undercutting Sweetpea and her work and not really believing her. And Sweetpea is just like, whatever, I already set up a meeting, so we're about to go. So they go meet the lawyer named Lawyer. And he's like, that's not uncommon in this region. And Kwabena's like, right, I was christened Dog Fucker Bannerman.
Why would he say that?
I was like, I mean,
What
just the African name joke thing is tired. Word to Drewski. Like, I'm sorry.
Word to Drewski.
You know, I'm a big Drewski fan, but you lost me with that, big bro. You
Yeah.
really did.
And on the Drewski side of things, doing that in an award show in a non-playful time makes it 1,000 bajillion times worse. What the hell?
That's pretty much what Quabena just did.
Exactly. Like, this is a formal setting.
This is a business meeting with a white woman. Like, why would you say that? So yeah, basically, the lawyer tells Sweetpea that he has a tax guy and he has a regulatory guy, and they just got together and they did the acquisition. And Sweetpea straight up says, "Well, what were you paid?" The lawyer gets a little irritated at that. He did not like that question.
Not trying to talk no money like that.
He said that wasn't a polite question. I haven't been impolite to you, so I think you should go. So they leave. Sweetpea is still on this, and Quabena tries to kind of like get on her and act like she don't know what she's talking about. She's trying to bend the facts, and just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm like, you work in finance, you know this is bullshit.
Yeah. Or just give it a second to see what the play is. Like, you're not even trying, brother. You're not taking any... He doesn't give it a minute. And it's interesting, too. Like, once he does give it a minute, he finds out some connections. It's like, just play the game for a second. And it's interesting for him to get on her about it a little bit, while also, like, really undercutting and talking bad about Africa, right? Like, just constantly being like, well, it's Africa, you know, it is Africa. Like, every few things is like, ugh, yeah, Africa. Like, girl, y'all not even saying Ghana.
Sweetpea like, you know Sweetpea says, how much do you actually know about Africa? You can stop with this prodigal son gimmick. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. Like, you're acting like you have gone away. You grew up in Africa. You know everything about Africa, which Africa broadly,
right?
Not even Ghana.
Ghana.
You know everything. You were able to go away, and now you're coming home, and you just know best, and you know how things really are. That's how people act. Coming and going from a town called.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like you start getting bigger, better than, the next thing you know, it's like, I can't, I hate being in this. You know, everybody has their reasons. I love going to the city, but it's just like, it is other stuff. But it's like, don't talk down about the city and be like, well, of course that happens here. And it's like, girl.
But you're also not bigger and better either. Like, that's the thing.
Like, you're not. And wherever you are, the same thing is happening. Like, he's talking so much shit about Tinder. Or not Tinder. He's talking so much shit about Africa as a whole. And the bad dealings that are happening in Africa. And it's really a British/United States company doing all the bad, dirty, nasty work. They're just doing it through this avenue. But it's still the company, not the place.
And you work in finance, so you are the evil.
You've seen it before. That's why you're running a short. Why you're in a short fund.
Hello. So anyway, they flipped to a karaoke bar, which my last job forced us to have karaoke nights on work trips, which is why I told you I don't like karaoke. So I feel you, Sweetpea. And Quabena says, you know, what materially changes in the world if we find out that these guys actually are bad? And Sweetpea says, how glib you are actually is charmless. You think that it's charming, but it's charmless.
Yeah.
And then she tells him that she's giving this her full fucking attention, and that's a finite resource, and that's why the outcome matters. And I agree. But I do think at this point, that's when Quabena's doubt starts to get to her. She's like, well, what if it doesn't change anything? What if it doesn't matter? And this is when Quabena starts to soften, which I liked when he was doing this with Harper, But you don't get to sleep with everybody in SternTao. Like, we're not bringing those bad habits over from Pierpoint. No.
Well, they're here, girl.
I know.
They're here.
But Sweetpea tells him that she needs the short to work because before this she couldn't get a job, much like Rishi.
Yeah.
But she gets a little bit vulnerable and says that, she plans to just keep moving forward and let the distance grow between her and the event and let time do the work. And she was just saying that everyone was pretty much laughing at her. These fat-necked, ugly losers were laughing at her. And Kwabena says, so much disrespect to your audience. You should run a movie studio. And Sweetpea says, well, the guy who did it got his in a roundabout sort of way. And this is where we find out that she does, in fact, think that Rishi was responsible for the leak.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I still don't think it was him.
I don't think so either, but I think because he did hold it to her head some. You know what I mean? Like, that was a whole play in season 2 or 3. Like, oh, I know you did this. So, I don't know. Sorta, kinda. Yeah, it's like, I guess, but it's like, I mean, it could have also been, nasty.
It could have been anyone.
You know who I think it is? Yasmin Hanani.
Oh, yeah.
Mark it. I'm having some good revelations today.
You know what? It could have been Eric Nasty Ass.
And I have that in my notes for a little later.
It could have been Eric Nasty Ass, but so at this karaoke bar, they start playing "True" by Spandau Ballet, which is also the karaoke song that a group of partners would sing at work karaoke. So I was like,
why? Triggered.
This feels like a real work trip and I need to pause this episode. So Sweetpea tells Kwabena that she thought she was close to her mom until this event, as she calls it, happened. And that her mom knows, but pretends like it just didn't happen. And my question to you is, would you want your mom to acknowledge that?
I feel like I probably have a different relationship than this lady and her mother. But no. Absolutely not.
For sure not. We could just
for sure. Hell no, actually. No, thank you. Next question.
Next.
Girl, but I do understand if you're close to your mother in that way, her comfort would be nice. Acting like it didn't happen is just like, I feel like that's kind of hurtful more so than anything, you know?
Yeah. I literally splashed coffee all over my face. Poppy, sponsor us if you're listening.
Poppy, hi Poppy.
I love your lemon lime.
The bullies love poppies.
Bullies love poppies. But I wrote down Harper's mom versus Sweetpea's mom and just the different dynamics that both of them have and how Harper was not close to her mom at all, but like still kind of wanted her comfort in the end. And then how Sweetpea wasn't close, or was really close to her mom, but now feels like she isn't, and there's just this distance between her because of her career. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, I had this reflection that's going to be really unpopular, but
okay, I
think it's kind of pathetic to want your parents after like 21.
21.
Really, I would have said 18 because you know our situation, but I get it.
Yeah.
But I think
at a certain point, it's just like you have to just take it. Whatever it is.
But I understand with Sweetpea's situation that it was like a quick change. Like that wasn't the nature of their relationship always. And I can tell that she's like trying to move on, but she's still very affected by it. But with Harper, I'm just kind of like, girl, this is killing your aura.
Yeah, she's sort of, I don't know. It feels, it feels real, but also feels performative. And also, like, how she talks now, I was thinking about this. I don't know if we're going to get into this a little later, because I know you said you had something to say about the writing. But it feels like she's so much... We watch how she talks, like, season 1. It's like, she's really like, what's up? Da-da-da-da. Like, she's one of the girls. Like, she's really from around the way, you know? Around the way being upstate New York. But... Now she's really proper and very like da 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 da. Like, it's totally different tone, and it's just like, do you even believe yourself a lot of times? Like, are you really sad, or do you believe you should be sad right now?
What I wanted to say about the writing was, this episode felt very dialogue heavy in like a monologue type of way, where the characters were almost giving like streams of consciousness. And yes, there was a back and forth, but it sometimes felt like they were in these kinds of like two different conversations. A lot like the scene with Rishi and James before he died, where James was doing like his coke rant, and then Rishi was kind of having his own aberrations in his head or whatever. And it's not that I didn't like it, but sometimes the dialogue was checking me out, because it was like what was being said by the characters wasn't necessarily believable, or like when Harper started, when she was getting triggered in general, I was like, whoa, where's this coming from? And it's not that I couldn't imagine her saying it. It just felt like, what's going on? Like, what is this? What does this mean? What are you saying? Which I understand they're also still building the story, so this is just us talking about the scene. But I thought that a lot of the dialogue was a little bit like, But I do understand. I do understand that they're also trying to set up like probably a callback to this later on, but it was very not characteristic, in my opinion, a lot of this episode.
The writing, her delivery is way different too, a lot this episode versus others. So I'm really interested to see, like, what is really behind this? Is my girl, like, fucked up? Is she really back on the method? You know what I mean? Like, what is she? Where is she? Where's her head at?
I was going to say that related to Harper's delivery, I do think that some of that is her just trying to assimilate into the UK.
British.
And like, British society, the finance world. Like, I think that some of that is intentional, but I do feel like some of what she was saying was kind of like all of the kind of therapy speak and stuff that she was bringing up just didn't feel like Harper, but I don't know. 30 is, they say that's when the switch flips, so maybe she's just flipping a switch.
I'll see soon.
But Sweetpea gets a call from Tony Day, and he calls her back and says, "You're almost as memorable as your name." And then he says, "Why did you lie?"
Yeah.
And Sweetpea just goes straight forward, and it's like, "Look, I'm following a story. I don't know if you know, but there's speculation in the press about Tinder, and we were just trying to get to the bottom of it. And we know that there was a writer that was supposed to come down and see you," and he says James's name. And Sweetpea asked, was he going to get you on the record? Like, what was this conversation going to be about? And Tony keeps saying, "Well, I don't know. He never came." Like, hello, he never came.
Yeah.
And he also said that James was supposed to sketch out some pathways for him. And Sweetpea is like, "What pathways?" And he's like, "I don't know. He never came."
Yeah. And it kind of like scares him a little bit too. I think he thought he was on to something. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not on to the same thing they're on. I don't think. Like, maybe this isn't as safe as I thought."
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I just thought he was getting a little bit skittish that he was being watched by someone else.
Yeah.
But I wrote that he can't trust Sweetpea to even tell her what's going on because she already lied. And he already, like, clocked that she lied.
You already clocked me. And it's too easy for me to look up.
Right. And Sweetpea says, did you know he passed away? Talking about James. And all Tony said was, wasn't aware. And then he says, it's not a dangerous city, but the beach can get quite dangerous at night.
Right. So, of course, Sweetpea is telling her exact physical present location. Like, girl, I'll be like, yeah, I'm still in the region. The hell, I'm not going to tell you my exact spot on the beach that I am. That was a crazy choice for my sister.
Down to the cabana number. She gave all her information.
What is that supposed to do? What you think he's just gonna come on down?
But that's where I feel like she was out of her depth, because I think she was like, well, I've dealt with clients before, or I have, but this has been over the phone.
Exactly. And like I was saying too, is like, it's the difference between online world and reality. Like, online world, you can be cheeky and talk about and say where you're from because they're probably a million miles away and don't have no money to actually get to you nowhere. But then comes a time when they actually do have the money and actually they're outside your door.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like there's real consequences to this, to these type of games that you try to play with people.
Yes. So in the next scene, we unfortunately see those consequences unfold.
Perhaps.
Kwabena is on... What you mean?
Go ahead. Do you think it was actually him that set it up?
Ask that again.
Okay.
So Kwabena is singing Eyes Without a Face. Take a shot. Episode name is mentioned.
Episode name in the song.
While a man is staring at Sweetpea from across the bar. Sweetpea picks up on it. She sees that he's staring at her, but doesn't really pay much attention. She ends up going to the bathroom to wash her hands. This man appears behind her in the mirror. Total nightmare fuel.
Something similar happened when I was in South Africa.
Of course. It's Africa.
It's Africa. But I found out that it was just a unisex bathroom that had the stalls like that. But when you just walk, you know what I mean? You think you're going into the ladies' room and you stand in the mirror. But it was one of those things where it's like one half is a mirror. You know, I don't know if you ever seen this in a bathroom because they're often not. But it's like one is a mirror and then the other one's an open space. But the next space is a mirror. And they're like hanging like that. So, like, you're seeing yourself, but then you look over and South African man staring back at you. Huh? And I was, I'm off the schmiz.
I know you.
I remember I double gasped so hard.
You are ready to fight like CP.
I know the fear. I had two of those type of reactions during my return to Africa. So I knew. I get it. It is spooky. I am familiar. That is actually my biggest fear, the way she got attacked. And then he licked her.
This man, Sweetpea's like, this is the ladies. He doesn't respond. She says, it's the fucking ladies. She turns around. She tries to leave, and he grabs her by the throat, smashes her against the mirror, and then pins her to the wall and licks her face.
Her face? Question mark. She's... I don't know.
She throws him off of her, and he punches her and breaks her nose.
Yeah, because she, scratches him.
So you break my nose after you just
break my nose and just walk off
into a mirror?
And lick me?
So I wrote... the lick sit. That's why it took me so long to do a rewatch, because I was like, I can't even do this scene.
I didn't even actually watch it. I just skipped past it.
I was just already taking notes, so I was
it literally made me scream. I screamed out loud.
No, yeah, and listeners, I did my initial watch at 7 a.m. on Friday. Yeah. So I screamed out loud and woke myself up with that scene. But I wrote here, I think that Tony Day set her up.
Interesting. I don't know.
Why don't you think it was him? Who do you think it was?
Like, I don't think it was anybody. I think it was just a freak. I think it was just a freak, or it was Whitney. Because from our understanding later on in the episode, everything that Tony Day is doing is being watched and audioed somehow. Mm-hmm. And she said her whole damn government name and all the lies. And he knows too. So it's like, I don't know. It's like you would get her licked and beat up and then be like, find my pathways. That's kind of crazy. I think her coming in beat up is like, oh, this nigga is crazy. Whitney is crazy. He killed the one guy and then got this girl beat and licked on by some random African man.
And her head smashed and just
smashed. And then it just messes up her whole thinking for the rest of the whole damn episode, damn near.
So does.
Like, my girl had a grade 3 concussion. She should have been had concussion protocol.
She was not.
No good decisions.
The fact that he pulled her hair after. Okay, we'll get there. So she leaves the bathroom fucked up, just blood everywhere, bleeding. Kwabena is still doing karaoke, and he sees her and finally gets off the goddamn mic. And
like, he was there all goddamn day and night.
Which I'm like, honestly, again, me on a work trip, so I'm not even gonna front. Like, I don't know, I don't feel him, but singing karaoke the whole time is crazy. So she tells him, like, I'm so jacked up right now. Like, she's just running on straight adrenaline. She might as well have done a line.
Yeah.
And she got assaulted. And
I can't imagine getting punched and licked on the face and being like, let's have a night.
And let's also keep going on this work trip. Like,
yeah.
Going the fuck home.
Oh, God. First of all, unfortunately, I'm calling Trump. Unfortunately, I'm calling Planeteer.
Calls must be made.
Calls are gonna be made if someone forces them away or walks in the bathroom, beats me up, and licks my face.
And walks off like, who are
you? That was literally eyes without a face, racially coded.
That was truly eyes without a face. So keep that in mind because I did make a note about that. But she says, I will run a fucking train on them. Okay. And she also says that she loves...
What's that mean?
Right. She also says that she loves her nose, which I feel bad because I'm like, damn, you really got your nose broke on this trip. On a work trip. And y'all don't have no HR. I know y'all don't have no benefits for real.
No real compensation. And honestly, do they even have doctors over there? For real.
Right.
Like, you're not getting fixed up for months. But yeah, she says, let's get beer and make bad choices.
Famous she can go to Turkey, though. But yeah, so they transition to more drinks. They're having an afters of their own, which on this show, that's a death wish.
Yeah, and it's like after getting punched and licked, you're going to stay in bar where you got punched and licked and ride it out. Let's have fun. Let's talk about our fetishes.
At the end of the day, Sweetpea is white, so
I guess
that's how that cookie crumbled.
That's how they get down.
She says, "Can you stop fucking around and just admit that you've seen my tits?" And Kwabena coalesces and says, "Yes, I have seen your tits." And then she asked him, did he watch the video? And he's hesitant to answer. He ends up admitting it. She says, did you like it? He says, I don't know what the right answer is. And she said, honesty.
I hate this.
So then he goes on to say that he did like it. It was great. And Sweetpea, she does something that I think is really sad, but she starts collecting data because she says she's trying to build a picture of the men who like her. And trying to build a picture of, I guess, the men that have seen her as well. And they get into kind of, again, a continuation of what James was saying of just like, do you watch porn? What do you like? Yeah. What are you into? How do you feel about that? Like, from Sweetpea's perspective, what is that like being a sex worker, essentially? And Quivin is just kind of like, he's kind of like, there's no way that you could do this and make it out fine.
Yeah.
And she says, fuck Freud, there doesn't always have to be a why. And he says, that shit's bad for the soul. And she said, and good for the body. And she asks him, well, what do you like? Quivina says, forgive me, Dr. Umar.
Right.
I like premium calcium. Just as we thought.
Yeah, never was a shock in my eyes, but I think that is the nasty. I've never heard that phrase before this show. I don't like it.
No.
Just say pogs or whatever they used to say. Fat ass white girls. But I guess he don't really want that. He want him a little lady. He wants
a small blonde white girl.
Described Sweetpea, which is like, okay. It's like, who knows
after he told Harper directly Sweetpea is not his type. Which
not his type.
We knew was a lie.
Yeah. Go back to episode 1, besties. Our bestie bullies. You heard it there. We were not a fan. It there first. We knew that was a lie on both of their behalves.
And Sweetpea says some things are only attractive just because you can't have them. And so obviously the next scene is they go and fuck in a hotel.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's get back to SternTao. Like,
yes. Sweetpea is connecting through sex. Again, thinking about her and Yasmin and Haley even at this point. Yeah. And she's also trying to regain control of the situation. And I was wondering if she was motivated to actually have sex with Quivina because the man kind of looked like him. Or if it was just more of like, I'm just trying to regain control of my body because I just experienced this traumatic thing.
Yeah, I think it's the latter for certain. Like, I think that's really what she was feeling. And it's like, that's a feeling of, I don't know. I don't really get that aspect of it too much. Like,
because why would you let a nigga pull your hair when you have a concussion?
You're concussed and your face hurt. And like, listeners, if you've ever gotten your hair pulled, it feels like your face is being pulled.
Your whole face is being pulled.
Like, your whole face, it hurts.
Somebody is like stepping on your back and pulling your face.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton would know. Kris Jenner would know. Melissa McCarthy in that freaky ad, Super Bowl ad would know. But, yeah, I think it's trying, like you said, regaining power, regaining control of a situation, conflating pain and sex together is another thing. It's like one and the same, you know what I mean? Kind of getting off of the pain of it all. So,
right.
And, you know, that's the perfect somebody to do it. You know, that's just doesn't care. It's just for the game of it. Like, he doesn't care. And,
no, he doesn't.
Like, that's a gross hookup.
It's very Harper and Rishi.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was
get the
gross.
Poison out. Yeah.
Let's go back to SternTao, which is also, it takes us right back into a nasty scene. Back in erictao in a damn robe, meat hanging out,
He's sticking his hand.
Literally looking at a naked girl's pictures. And
it
for
was
a second,
Sweetpea.
was it Sweetpea or was it the other girl? It was Sweetpea, right?
Sweetpea. Mm-hmm.
What if
it was like, the caption was like, office tart or like town tart or something like that, but it was Sweetpea. At first it was just nudes of Sweetpea chest down, so eyes without a face, literally. But then when you scrolled up, it was like her headshot, which I was like, oh, girl, your digital footprint follows you.
Yeah,
literally, that
nasty.
sucks.
That's nasty work. Nightmare.
So yeah, Eric is scrolling in his dirty bathrobe. Harper walks in and he halfway apologizes, but has not put on clothes.
Yeah,
doesn't try to put on clothes.
Yeah, he's always naked and apologizing. Like, okay, just don't do it again.
It's giving intentional exposure, but whatever.
Yeah, it is.
So he asked for an update with Ghana. Harper says that Kwabena doesn't sound optimistic, so she suggests that they give fraudulent financials to a new prime broker. And she also says, why are we holding ourselves to an ethical standard when they have none? And Eric is like, girl, we need to give it up.
Yeah. I like that this scene was very quick to the point. It's like
it's over.
It's over.
Eric says it's so over.
Yeah. Harper's looking for fast cash. He's like, girl, that's jail time. Every single thing you suggested is lawsuit jail time. We have to find a way to cut it. Mm-hmm. And then we're back in Africa.
Back in Africa, it's the morning after. Kwabena slips Sweetpea some pain pills.
Yeah. I said awkward. I said this is awkward when you can't leave your one night stand.
This is why you don't sleep with your co-workers.
Don't sleep with your
co-workers. Sweetpea says, let's just forget that this happened. Kwabena's like, what happened? And she said, I was fucked up. And he said, so you do need a why.
He thinks he's so cheeky.
He does think he thinks he's more charming than he is, but I do have to say he is charming.
Oh God.
He is. He is.
Not to me. There's not been one moment where I'm like, every time I'm like, oh.
He's charming enough. Annoying. He's charming enough. You have to think, if we were working in finance, we would know the type of person he was. But if we were not working in finance and we just stumbled across a man like this in the wild, no previous context, I think probably the only thing we would assume about him is that he liked white women. All this other shit is bonus.
You know what? No, I think it'll be a couple of things. I think he likes white women and he's annoying. He looks annoying about it. He has a moon face. He's annoying.
That's a slur.
Is it? No, it's not. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, he does.
Yes, it is. Okay, but that's fair. So he let Sweetpea know that while she was sleeping, he did some research and basically found that a media conglomerate was who owned SwiftGC prior to it being acquired. He says the Murdochs in Kente, and that his auntie is friends with the daughter of that media magnate family, and that she's in town grieving her father because he recently died, and they're fighting over the estate, and so he could get a meeting with them.
Clunky writing, must say.
Very clunky.
Very clunky. That is too much. That is over description. It's overkill. It's da da da.
I feel like he was trying to do his part. Like he was trying to keep up with Sweetpea in a way.
Yeah, and it's almost like her getting punched in the face. Maybe also plus the hookup is like, okay, let me take her serious. But it's just like, I don't know. The writing wise, it's like way too convenient to not know in this. I don't know. It's like, I guess he really did just need to do 1 minute of work, and he could have probably found this connection, but
he didn't think it was real before, so he didn't care.
So,
and he also didn't think that what Sweetpea was doing was real, so he didn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care.
So we get to this meeting with the auntie, the friend of the auntie, and she just says that the family is really fighting over the land the Swift GC is on. They don't really care about the company. And Sweetpea's like, why not? Tinder just bought it for $50 million, and she busts out laughing. And it's like, girl, if we had $50 million, this would be a bloodbath, which I totally believe.
Totes agree. You know who she looks like? This actress, Jackie from, is her name Jackie? Jackie Aina?
The actress?
Yeah.
Oh, the actress looks like Jackie Aina. Oh.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh, this is her.
I didn't get that. I was actually thinking of the woman from the Fighting Temptations that was the sister of the pastor.
I know you're talking about.
That didn't want Beyonce to sing.
Yeah. That lady's way old now.
Yeah, but she looks like that woman. That woman is like in her 50s. That looked like her from the movie.
That's funny.
I didn't get Jackie Aina though.
I feel like Jackie Aina. Go rewatch it. It look like Jackie Aina when she got on her little wigs.
Bullies, let us know. Does she look like the woman from the Fighting Temptations or Jackie?
We need to clip this.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, she tells her, girl, you're barking up the wrong tree. This is not a $50 million company. Sweetpea's like, can you take us there? So we're transported to Swift GC, which is an abandoned fucking, to an abandoned fucking warehouse. And
it looks like that building we used to be in, it looks like the building we used to be in before that brewery became the brewery.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
we're teenagers.
Or house, as we mentioned.
House for sure.
I've broken into that house a couple of times.
Trespass. House of horrors.
Yeah. But we get to Swift GC, which is just an abandoned warehouse with 2 security guards sitting at a desk, ignoring the phones.
Yeah, watching soccer.
I literally said us.
Literally us. Literally
and
us.
Like, who are y'all? And they're like, we're squatters.
No, we're looking for squatters. Keeps the squatters away. They're not the squatters. It's stupid.
No, they said we're squatters.
No, they said they're keeping the squatters away.
No, they said we're They're ignoring them. They're like, we're squatters. Like, don't talk to us. We're squatters. And that's why Sweetpea just turned around and called, because they were like, we're not about to answer. Because they didn't even, like, keeping squatters away. They didn't even say nothing to them. They just ignored them.
Who are you?
No, they said, that's what Sweetpea said to them. They were like, we just here. We don't. I forgot what exactly they said, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
They were trying to make it seem like we're not affiliated. They not supposed to be answering no questions. And Sweetpea calls and watches the phone ring. They hang it up, and it goes straight to the Tinder HQ hold music and voicemail. And Quimena says, "What are we looking at?" Sweetpea says, "A facade."
Yeah, nothing.
So we go back to SternTao. They're having a ciggy on the balcony. Mm-hmm. And Eric says we temporarily get to live in the illusion that we ourselves are on firmer ground. And I just wrote that he's being so existential.
Yeah, he's freaked out.
I'm just like, I feel like if you've already had the retirement time, it's not like you just retired, you didn't just get divorced, you didn't just have daughters. Like, you've had a lot of time to kind of process this transition. So why you're having such a hard time is beyond me.
Yeah.
But But
I don't really understand it either. I think it's also, again, like he's faced with his own morality and mortality. I think I said that last week, but he's like staring it at its eye that he's like really doesn't have anything. He don't have no money. It's all wrapped up in Harper. He don't have family. He don't love himself. So what's left?
Exactly. But they get a call that breaks this up, which I'm sure Harper's like, thank God. And Sweetpea is screaming, the thing is nothing. Fake profits lead to fake cash. Tinder and lying about the value of what they're buying out there. And I think it's Quimena that says it's a Potemkin village where everything just looks like it's perfect, but it's not. Yeah. So they figure out that the money that Tinder is saying they are spending on acquisitions and such is not actually there. They're lying about how much the acquisitions are to the public, paying these companies a very different amount, although we never found out the amount exactly for Swift GC, but clearly wasn't $50 million.
It wasn't $50 million, yeah.
No. And they're basically just moving their money around so fast, quote unquote, that it can't be tracked, it can't be regulated, and they're just overinflating how much they're spending to make it look like they have more money so that more investors will buy in, which is like probably what's happening with more companies than we even know.
I'm sure. And I'm also interested in, like, well, where is the liquid coming from? Is it coming from whatever these other type of investments are? Like, is it, like, I get that it's smoke and mirrors. I put in my notes, it's smoke and mirrors. The Wiz is here. Richard Pryor has danced out. Like, the jig is up. But they still have the image of wealth.
But anyway, I think the liquid is coming from the investors. I think they probably started with
they only have the investor money,
seed funding. Now they're just burning through investor money and trying to get more investors to invest more money. Which is why they need that $1 billion. Exactly where I was going next. So, and Quimena was basically like, they probably just thought everyone would be too lazy to actually go in Africa and look behind the curtain. Knock on doors. And Sweetpea says, I knocked on the fucking door, bitch.
Right.
And Eric says we come back to the Ouroboros, where it's just an illusion. Everything is kind of eating itself. The money is just cycling through itself. And Sweetpea says, whatever that is. Which was literally you when I said that in episode 1. Literally. And so Harper finally breaks down what Tinder actually is and what they do. They started as a payment processor and became a bank to hide the fact that it was never a successful processor. Yep. And she basically decides, I'm about to out them at this conference, this Women in Finance conference. I'm not going to talk about SternTao. I'm going to talk about Tinder. And Eric's like, we don't have proof. And Harper says, we don't need proof because we finally have a compelling story to tell.
Yeah. Well, so here we are.
Sweetpea and Burgess talk from Fin Digest, and she says, I'm Sweetpea Golightly, and he say, you're who?
Right.
You what?
Fake name. It's so funny that we actually know a Golightly, too.
We do. Listeners, we do know Golightly. Love her. TBH. And Sweetpea is basically like, do you know anything about this deal? What was going on with what James was going to say to him? Like, do you know what was on the table?
Basically, like, what are the whistleblower protections? What are they? And how can we make sure they're back on the table for him? And could you, essentially also asking, will you run this story again with the details?
And he's like, well, what can you do to convince the whistleblower to talk? What vector can you hit them with? Just saying it's the right thing to do was not enough. So what are you thinking about? And he ends up telling her that something like this is built on trust. You need a lot of trust in time, and that it's not best led by someone who can stand to gain financially from the source talking. Sweetpea feels a little bit, I would say, handcuffed at this point, so she says they're going to snooker him.
Yeah.
So then we head back to Tinder in Africa HQ. And Sweetpea busts in with her broke nose and her linen suit and her sunglasses.
Looking crazy.
She looks fab. She looks like me after a bender. She looks so good. And she busts in and gets in Tony's face and says, so underqualified and so overpaid. And that was the lure, right?
Yeah.
So, way to deliver a line, Sweetpea. And he turns up the TV like his office is bugged. And it's like, girl, I don't have anything to worry about because at the close of business yesterday, my equity was $80 million.
Yeah. And he's also saying he turns the volume up and goes over by the blowing air conditioner. Like, he does not want to be heard. And Sweetpea and Corbina get in his face and are badgering him basically to get on board with being a whistleblower. And Sweetpea's like, aren't you tired of this facade? You're running around. You have all of this fraud going on in the background. You know that you shouldn't be in this position. You know that what Tinder is doing is not right and not sustainable. And she says, I don't think there's a more tired man on earth. And Corbina says, and you're the second most tired man in Tinder. Because ain't nobody more tired than Whitney ass. Yeah.
Trying to hold this shit together. And Sweetpea just tries to guilt him, thinking about all these kind of innocent bystanders that have been roped into this sham of a business. And Corbina jumps right in and says the Africans exchange the bribes while the white man talks. Like, okay. But sure, for the purposes of this conversation. But yeah, Tony is basically like, somebody is watching me. I need to ensure full protection, and I also need to speak to my counsel first, and I'm not gonna whistleblow until I know that this stuff is in place for me. Yeah. And Sweetpea's like, you think somebody is watching you, or you assume someone is watching you? And he's like, assume, like,
right? Look at your face,
I know for a fact somebody is watching me.
Look in a mirror, sister.
Yeah. And Sweetpea says, you want to answer to us or to law enforcement? And Tony says back, you get the feeling that you're in over your head. And she said, never in my fucking life, sir.
Okay, Sweetpea.
You believe her?
No, because she's already majorly in over her head with just some pics of her booty butt going viral. Like, girl, you playing with your cat, and you're over your head. Like, this is real deal fraud. Like, I don't believe her.
Of an international company.
Right.
Ultimately, Tony decides he will consider, and they kind of have to leave with the very big end loose.
Yeah. So
then we are transported back to SternTao HQ / Eric's temporary living space. And Lily and Eric are cuddled up on the bed. There's a Pierpoint hoodie.
Yeah.
The Bullish team will be getting there soon. And Eric gets up, he walks out to his ex-wife and says she's hollowed out. And I wrote that Eric cosplays as a family man for 5 seconds because he invites his ex-wife to just stay with Lily, like let them stay because it's already late and, whatever. It's just easier. And Candace turns and says to him, don't mistake regret for love. The girls won't.
Pretty nasty. She cuts him every time she gets a chance.
Yeah, because he had her fucked up.
Yeah. And they have that relationship too, which we saw in season 1. Like, they talk crass to each other.
It's very love after lockup. Like, it's very... it's very low vibrational.
Yeah. And so he's tossing and turning. We get to the night scene. He's tossing and turning. He can't sleep. Oh my God. You think, maybe it's because his daughter really told him some stuff. It's like, what is on your mind? What's going on? He looks at his wife and his daughter sleeping peacefully in his room. And he calls up the bellhop. The bell girl.
Hotel Dolly girl.
And she calls, all right. And he goes in there. She gets down. The daddy stuff this season, don't like it. Said it again. And he tells her to make him feel big. Yuck.
Yes, daddy.
Yuck. And it's so gross, too. She looks so young. Like, she has braces in her mouth. Like, she looks like a teenager.
Which Harper does, too.
Harper does, too. But that scene specifically made me think of that the pictures weren't Sweetpea for a minute. Like, my initial watch. My second watch, I realized it was Sweetpea. But at first, I thought he was just looking at, like, her pictures. Because, I mean, Sweetpea, too, looks very young.
Very young.
So, it's like, between that and the braces, it's like...
If anything, I thought it was going to be the girl that Rishi was with while he was dealing coke out of his car.
Yeah, I did see people say that they thought it was the same person, but I'm not so sure. Yeah.
Because that girl had dark hair, and the one in Rishi's car looked more, like this girl that Eric was with was a little bit closer to Harper than not. And then the one that Rishi was with was a little bit further away from her.
Yeah.
But I did write Harper's next, I fear.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No reaction.
Light work, no reaction. Sweetpea returns to the UK. Harper walks up on her.
Yeah.
She's checking in.
But makes it clear. I thought this was interesting. There was a clear boundary that Sweetpea did not want to see anyone yet.
Yes.
A clear boundary was set, and she not only goes to her house unannounced, but instead of being like, "Hi, Sweetpea," you just go up and touch her.
Yes.
Someone, maybe she doesn't know the extent of the attack, but either way, a random man punched her. I don't think she wants to be touched while her back is to you. Yeah.
Sweetpea's freaked out. Harper's gagged when Sweetpea turns around and sees her face is fucked up.
Yeah.
And she gives Sweetpea a hug, which Sweetpea obliges her, but as Harper is trying to ask her how she is, Sweetpea starts talking about the work trip. She doesn't engage with Harper trying to check on her and just sidesteps it altogether. And Harper's like, don't worry about the information that you found. Like, we already know the angle. I'm working on the presentation. It's going to be undeniable. And then Harper ends up saying, "I'm so sorry that I let this happen to you. It is my responsibility." And Sweetpea's like, "Don't take this away from me. You don't have to act out of pastoral compassion."
Wow.
Then she brings up the fact that she and Kwabena have hooked up. And she's just like, "Hey, I think it's best that I'm honest. I think things are best handled when they're direct and straightforward. We slept together. Just letting you know.
Letting you know. And I thought it was casual between you guys. Like,
yeah. And Harper is like, that's okay. I understand. Thank you for your honesty." Which Sweetpea also mentioned honesty when talking to Kwabena about sex.
Yeah.
And Harper says, "But can I come inside and keep you company?" And Sweetpea's like, "I'm really fucking tired."
Yeah, like, no.
Imagine getting thrown against a wall, a bathroom mirror in Ghana, your face licked by a complete stranger. You fight him off of you, and then he punches you and breaks your nose while you're on this trip trying to find out why we are shorting the most popular business in the world right now.
Right.
And your boss for this exact work trip shows up and it's like, "Can I hang out with you in your apartment?"
No. After a however many long hour flight with a broken face. You know how bad that probably hurts? Holy.
She has a concussion and she just had
her face is broken
the night before.
Yeah, her face is probably just like
she
shaking.
flew home.
And she's on the come down of a high adrenaline rush, which
Yes.
feels like death.
She's feeling everything right now.
And here comes
She's
this
like-
crazy girl talking about can I come sit with you? Girl, go home.
But this
Have we
just
ever
shows
done this before? When we start doing this?
why you picked the day to start doing this. But this just shows how lonely Harper is. And, like,
yeah.
I think if this had been someone like Yasmin, she would have been like, of course.
Oh, yeah,
like,
come in.
please,
Please.
come in.
Actually,
She
I
would-
need you.
She would have told Harper to come immediately, or, like, it would have been something to entice her to come over. But I think it's interesting how Harper is so drawn to Sweetpea and feels this, like, sense of protection over her. And, like, she really needs to do right by her. So I'm wondering if she knows that she maybe put Sweetpea in a precarious position, or if she's just really feeling like that's how she should treat her.
Yeah. I said in my notes, Sweets makes it clear that they are coworkers. She's her boss. They're not girlfriends.
Yes,
like,
and I think the fact that she told her about Kwabena also, like, really neutralized that. Like, sorry, we're not actually cool, but I do hate that this happened, but I'm just letting you know so that you know where we stand. Like, we're not girls.
Yeah, we're not girls.
But then Sweetpea comes in, she takes a little shower, and she has her moment, which I do not. You ain't wrong, queen. You needed that.
A good, deep,
She needed a real cry. She needed a war cry.
War cry.
So then Harper leaves there and heads back to SternTao HQ, where she runs into Kwabena, and everyone has slept over. And he asked where Eric is, and she said, who knows? Harper is just like, truly, I have seen people who have lost very close family members recently in the flesh, and they truly are like ghosts after that has happened. Harper's floating on air. She just is not really present. Yeah. And I think Sweetpea rejecting her deflated her even more than she was already deflated. And she's like, she could give a fuck where everyone is. But Kwabena says this whole setup needs a rethink, which we've been saying that. So,
we've been saying that, from the beginning.
Harper asks, how was Ghana? How was Africa? And Kwabena describes Sweetpea as a dog with a bone. Yeah,
it was very, like, after her finding out that they hooked up, everything that he's saying is very sexualized. And I think even without that being known, it was still felt sexualized. Like,
it was
she's
still
just
very
tenacious. She's just It's like, okay.
It was still very, very wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like when Whitney said Haley could take half of his load off you. He says that she was a dog with a bone, and Harper says, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. And he says, while we're here, don't ever fucking liquidate my books again. Like, I'm not some boy.
He bucked up real heavy.
Yeah. But it wasn't like it wasn't anything like
inappropriate,
super aggressive or anything. It was definitely just like what Sweetpea said, like,
they're setting boundaries.
It's like, did they talk? Our boss.
Yeah, it's almost like, did they talk on the plane? It was just like, we have to do something about Harper Stern and his relationship.
That's a good question.
Like, they both came in and was like, plain, this is what it is, and I want to be paid on Sweetpea side. And then for Kwabena, it's like, don't do that again. We don't fuck each other that way. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, very boom to boom. Like, they're very in sync with each other, which probably really knocks Harper off a little bit.
I don't know that they conspired on the plane, but I do think while on that trip, they definitely reflected, because, like, they had to leave so close to Kwabena finding out that his positions had been liquidated. And then Sweetpea, I don't know that she's in trouble financially, but her alluding to the fact that she wasn't able to get a job and that she really needs this to work out. And the direction that the fund is going, it seems like they might not get paid. So
Yeah.
I do think they maybe think the writing is on the wall a little bit. Because
Yeah.
when it says, like, after he says, don't ever fucking liquidate my books again, he says, I'm not some boy. He was like, we fuck each other, but not like that.
Right.
So I don't think it's any really, like, bad blood or anything. The fact that he even brought that up still. But I also do think just, like, the dramatic irony of, we know that he has now had sex with Sweetpea, completely contradicted everything that he just told Harper. Harper's mama is dead. They don't even know that part. And she's just, like, trying to connect with people. And they're just, like, putting their blockers up against her. Yeah, so it sucks, but she ends up telling him, like, if somebody calls for me, I'm working. Don't let him through. So she has no choice but to retreat to her work.
Yep. She keeps it very professional. She's like, okay, bet. Then this is a professional job. I think that's why he's so, like, blown at the end of it. She wasn't quipping back with him. She wasn't being, you know, her little aggressive fun self. It was just like you're saying, that light, airy, like, she's not even in the room. She really could care less. But that was bullish. That was
episode 5.
That was episode 5. Pretty good.
It was pretty good. I mean, the themes were pretty much the same. I feel like it was a little bit less journalism heavy and more about, I think the focus now is kind of the public perception of the leader, this idea of storytelling too. I'm really interested to see what Harper is going to do with this Women in Finance event, how SternTao is going to tell the story, like each of the individual members, how they're going to tell the story, their own stories, how they're telling their own stories is also interesting. Obviously, the daddy and mommy issues thing is
deep.
Crazy. And then still sex, like it's very psychosexual, moving into sexual, kind of like regaining power and control, gaining power and control to start through sex. I think has been a key theme, but like the way that it showed up in this episode was also really interesting.
Yeah, I do agree. I think they really, like you said, push on that point about the storytelling, how they're going to tell the story, who's telling it. Also getting to hear, like, we hear about Sweetpea's story, right, from all the other characters, and we finally get from her own mouth, like, what it seemed like happened to her and how, in a way, it affected her. So it's like now we kind of get a fullness of her side. And yeah, it's like I'm really interested to see how are they gonna really do this? You know what I mean? Like, will it really actually move the market if they tell this story? Because, like Eric says early in this episode, who cares? Like, okay, we find out there's nothing. Do they really care? Everybody got their money in it now.
Right.
Who cares? So, will she stick the landing? Somebody that often does not stick a landing. We see her back in her power suit, so my sister must have paid a lot of money for it, because she back in that suit again in the trailer. So we'll see what happens.
She needed something to say, real business, bitch.
Yeah, it is cute, though. But with that,
let's hear about these investor sentiments.
Yeah, let's get to our investor sentiments. As you know, it's our overall attitude of our characters and the plots. And how it's going to affect next episode, like our future predictions. So, what are you, bullish, bearish, what's the most volatile, and what was your safe haven this week?
I am bullish this week on, I think I'm still bullish on Sweetpea this week.
She had a tough week, but it's a lot to build from.
I'm bullish on Sweetpea because I believe in her. She's the hardest worker.
Yeah. Pressure makes diamonds.
So they say. It also bursts pipes. Who are you bullish on?
Still, my same people. I'm bullish on SternTao. Oh, wait, what did I say last week?
You were Henry last week.
Actually, Save that. I'm still bullish on Sweetpea, but I'm also still bullish on SternTao. I'm bullish on SternTao LLC as a whole. Not so much Quibina. But everybody else I'm high on.
Okay. And who are you bearish on?
I'm bearish on Mr. Day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. He sees how evil Henry is. He might off himself before it ever comes through.
That's who I think I'm most volatile, because for that same reason, you don't know what he's going to do. And he's so paranoid right now that he can't even trust anyone for real. So I think he's volatile. My bearish, SternTao. SternTao, like, this is just, I just don't foresee this going well. Eric is a nasty old man, dirty dick.
He's a nasty old man. He's just being so nasty.
Just so gross. And Harper is, I really empathize with Harper because I too am about to turn 30 and kind of feel like my life is a little bit of a mess. But
yeah,
I feel like Harper is in her head not rightfully, if that makes sense. So
yeah, I feel like she's a Coke bottle that's been shaken up and is waiting for somebody to come over and open that thing.
Yeah. So I mean, they could also be my most volatile, but I just want them to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say my most volatile right now is Harper. The tone this week is like, girl, you ain't sounding right. You know, your homegirl, you're not sounding good. What's going on over there?
Girl, I can tell you've been crying and you need somebody to talk to.
Somebody hitting on you over there. What's going on, sister? Like, so.
I also have to say Quibina is my bearish because I didn't like this.
Yeah, I don't like him. I'm not a fan.
We said that though.
What's your safe haven?
Eric's wife.
Candace. Candace keeps him in check.
Candace and Sweetpea suits.
My safe haven this week. My safe haven is the lack of muck. No muck episode. I loved it.
No mucks given.
No mucks given. No mucks given this week. I loved it. That was the best part of the episode. I was waiting for my jump scare to them, and it never came. So that was my safe haven.
Wonderful.
And that's that, guys.
That's bullish.
That's bullish. We give y'all a lot of good content. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Go and do that
get on
thing
that
right
train.
now.
You'll get a hat,
on it.
maybe.
Keep us coming. You know, if you made it here, shout out to you. Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
Give us some comments.
Thanks for listening, bullies. Oh, I'm sorry. We did. This is at the end, but I did get some fan mail from.
Oh.
And our listener was wondering if the call that Harper got was really her mom, about her mom or not, and I think it was. They were under the impression that it was something related to the journalist, like maybe the initial call or something was related to the journalist and not the follow-up or something.
Okay.
But I think that they already knew about all of that because of what Eric said in that conversation. But I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge our fan mail. So if you write into the show...
Shout out to our bullies.
If you write into the show, bullies, you will get addressed on the pod. It might be in the last 30 seconds, but it will come. So
yeah, if we can ever figure out how to cut and move stuff around, we'll see. But until that day comes,
I might try to slide that in. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Y'all have a good
Bye,
week.
bullies.
We'll see you in about 3 days. Dang. How these shows moving? We'll see you soon, bullies. Dang. Bye.
Bye.